New video is sparking even more outrage over the group of migrants accused of attacking two New York City police officers. That's what you're looking at on the left hand of your screen. Those guys were freed without bail. And now look at this. Here's one suspect flipping the bird to the cameras. He could care less. Another blows kisses as he smiles and laughs.
Hola, inmigrante. Bienvenidos a Estados Unidos.
As he smiles and laughs. The other suspect next to him also putting up the middle fingers and cursing at those reporters. Remorseless, brazen, smug. And now the question is, will the Biden administration deport these migrants? Trace, this video is so hard to watch. On top of the video that was so hard to watch of them attacking police officers. Yep. Will there ever be accountability?
No. And for your first question, will the Biden administration deport them? Doesn't matter, because if they do, they'll be back in 6 days. How many cases do we have where these people just come back? It's a revolving door. They go and they come back. If you or I or the Atlanta Falcons, as you were talking about earlier, went to Times Square and we kicked a cop in the head and we beat up a cop, we'd be in Rikers for the foreseeable future. That would be that. There's no bail for us. These people get out, get bail. It's ridiculous. And it's part of the problem where we cover the border every single day. And we know there's social media. They have learned that not only are there no consequences to go to the United States, they are incentivized. You get free health care in California. You get hotel rooms. You get all of the things that the people who actually are citizens here cannot get, and in some cases are taken out of, like high schools in New York and airports in Boston and places in Chicago where they meet and they gather have now become these sanctuaries and these places where they house the migrants, and it's not fair to the American citizens, and they are infuriated in blue cities across the country from Denver to San Diego to Boston to New York, wondering why is this happening? And now the president thinks, you know, because chaos doesn't poll well, he thinks now is the time to shut the border. And I've been trying to shut it since day one, and those darn Republicans won't sign on. And the truth is, come on.
I find it so disingenuous. It seems that Biden was sending some weird soldiers to Texas because Texas was putting new barbed wire to block the people coming in. For illegal immigrants that are not supposed to come in here by law. You're breaking the law, sending me to maintain a law that you're breaking. And now you're saying, I always want to block it? Man. I'm like, what the heck is happening? And what's even more weird, the cops weren't arresting 5 people. They were arresting 1. So if you're arresting 1, and you know the system is so lax, why the heck would you not just let him arrest the kid and he'll be off anyway? No! Because you can kick him and still get out. I'm like, this is the most hypocritical thing that I've ever seen, and it's sad. I don't care if they're illegal. Just make sure they're not punching people. Is that a lot to ask? Come on, man. I never liked the idea that I need to regulate my emotion, but they are not allowed to regulate their emotion because they need to adapt. I'm like, they're not dogs. It feels weird the way that you describe it, as if they have no consequence in their brain.
Police say a group of up to 12 men was being disorderly. 2 officers told them to move along. The gang looks like they're going to comply, but when the officers try to take one uncooperative man in a yellow shirt into custody, around 7 others surround them, punching and kicking the officers in the head and in the body while they are on the ground.
First for our cops, I'm proud of what they try to do. They stayed in the fight, but 8-on-2 is hard to combat. They got bumps, bruises, and scratches and pain.
Eventually, officers were able to find and arrest 4 of the gang. A 5th was arrested Monday. But once cops brought them in, bail reform laws allowed them to go free, something that most likely wouldn't have happened in their home countries, according to the NYPD.
Again, consequences for your actions. They should be sitting in Rikers. They should have been indicted this week and have their day in court and go to jail.
Police sources add that it's the gang of 19 to 24-year-olds who barely just arrived in the city and may have been staying at the nearby migrant shelters in Times Square. Some have reportedly already racked up charges for assault and robbery, but were released then too. If those arrested for this assault on police do come back on their own recognizance, they face felony charges that carry a penalty of up to 7 years.
You want to know why our cops are getting assaulted? There's no consequences, and we must change this. End of story.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I know the solution. These men are bored. So if you don't want to send them to prison because out of consequences they don't understand the situation, cool. Do something. Do a PlayStation contest, entertain. Do some football matches. I don't know, maybe bring some lady. Yeah, I don't know. Do that. But do something. But you're not doing anything other than, you know what? There's nothing to do. That school is for little kids. There's no school anymore. Go sleep there. There's more space. What? Your coat? Just sleep at that airport. What? What? You need more space? You don't like the bed? There's a hotel. We're gonna clean it. Use all the money. What? There's no money? Oh, how do we gonna handle it? We need a new solution. Oh, let's make everybody in New York pay 15 something to drive in the city. And oh my god, the guy just came out walking. This like gangster. Bopo like in there. That's like somebody beating my son in my own house. I kick him out and he enters again like, you can't do anything about it. Do you know how infuriating that is? And if I say anything, I'm the bad one. And if I beat him, he owns my house and he keeps my son too. How? I don't understand how dumb America is acting right now in certain cities. I'm not advocating for violence. I just think these people need consequences, especially when they walk on the street like this.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Put a fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.